Spot On is supported by the Boston University Sargent College's Master of Science degree in Nutrition program. Log on to bu.edu to learn more about this fabulous nutrition graduate program. You are listening to Spot On, a health and wellness podcast that breaks through the latest media headlines to provide you with accurate and usable information that is, well, spot on to meet your needs. I am your host, Dr. Joan Salge Blake, a nutrition professor at Boston University and the author of the college textbook called Nutrition and You, which is used in colleges across the United States and abroad. This episode of Spot On is all about snacking, and the reason why we are doing an episode on it, because I read that over 90% of consumers snack multiple times a day. So I'm going to go to the streets and find out, really, do they really snack daily? And if so, what is their go-to snack? Let's find out.
Yes, I snack daily, but my snack really depends on what I have in my dorm. So sometimes it's a granola bar, sometimes it's fruit, sometimes it's ramen.
Whatever's close to me, so I would usually go to either maybe a cafe to snack on, I don't know, muffins there or something, or nearby my dorm, there's a convenience store there, and I would just buy chips or something there.
I have crackers such as Pocky or saltines. I usually have snacks after my workout or after some big classes or project when I feel hungry or tired.
My go-to snack is usually pita chips or some type of fruit.
I definitely do snack during the day, and my favorite snack is goldfish.
Popcorn, preferably Skinny Pop, and I really like pita chips and hummus as well.
I am a big salty snacker. I don't like sweet snacks. I like salty snacks. So a good Chex Mix, some chips.
I snack probably daily. My favorite snack probably chocolate.
I do eat snacks. I love them very much. I would say that my snack cabinet looks like somebody's nightmare because it's all Oreos, really yummy chips. I really love potato chips.
Today on Spot On, I brought in a whiz that could help us on this topic of snacking and what snacks to eat and why we're snacking and whether it's good or not and the whole slew of questions. She is Dr. Rachel Paul, and she is calling from San Francisco, which is one of the fabulous places that I love to go visit. In fact, they often say that San Francisco is like the Boston of the West Coast, so it's kind of cool with shopping and eating and everything and walking. But she got a PhD in nutrition and behavior changes from Columbia University, and she got a BS and master's, and now a registered dietitian from Case Western Reserve University. So this woman's traveling all over the place. So Dr. Rachel Paul, she is a nationally recognized nutritionist who helps college students and young professionals look and feel amazing by eating healthy, cooking on their own, making good food choices. She's known for her practical advice, easy to follow guidance, and get ready for this, Instagram lovers. She has over 350,000 Instagram followers, and you can follow her on Instagram because she goes by the name of College Nutritionist, which I have to ask you that. So hello, Dr. Rachel. Welcome to Spot On.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This is great. So just tell me, how did you become the college nutritionist? I can't wait to hear the story.
Yeah, I really just gave the title to myself. But when I was in middle school and high school and the first 2 years of college, I really struggled with eating, kind of more stress and emotional types of eating. And then I actually took time off of college to kind of relearn how to eat. And when I went back, I switched my major to nutrition. So I was originally a math major, but I switched my major to nutrition so I could truly understand the science about what was healthy to eat, how I could maintain my ideal weight, and not think about food all the time, right? There is so much else in life to think about, and focusing on food all the time just isn't kind of a good use of our time. And then when I graduated from becoming a registered dietitian, I immediately made the website and the social media accounts for the College Nutritionist because I felt that, especially at the time, there were not a lot of resources for the young adult population. There were nutrition resources for people for stroke prevention or heart disease and that type of thing, but not really for the young professionals. And I thought that since I had struggled so much and learned so much, I could really give back to this population.
That's great. And, I just want to tell the listeners here, for Spot On listeners, that I met Dr. Rachel in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, and maybe it sounds like that she's out and she's working everything, but when you see a picture, I'm going to put up a picture that she and I took together, and she looks like she's 12, maybe 13. I don't, come on. I mean, so I think you still look like a college person. So, and of course, wait till you see next to me, who I look like your mother, which upset me, but whatever. So, it was kind of funny because, the college students always ask me about this, about snacking, what are good snacks, what snacks to have. And a fun statistic that I got was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this episode on Spot On was that a survey said that 57% of Gen Z's college students can't get through the day without a snack. I mean, it's like they can't even get out, think about their day without their snacks. So, this whole snacking thing is kind of new. So tell me, how did this, are we snacking more than we ever did? Because I don't remember doing this when I was in college.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really become a social norm to snack very frequently. I mean, I talk to people all the time who snack every 1 to 2 hours.
Wow.
I mean, it's so frequent. And I think that part of the problem is that a lot of times our meals are not as substantial as they could be, so that we do get hungry, and maybe, we are hungry, and there's also a lot of other factors in place, right? We live in a society now where food is available around every corner, right? There's vending machines, there's different cafes, every meeting we go to, there's food. So food is just abundant every single place we go. And then if you're not mindful about it, it's really easy to eat all of these snacks, especially when you're not hungry.
Dr. Rachel, that's interesting, because what I also read that a lot of people are not having this 3 square meals a day. They're having like two meals and a snack, but the snack is like a mini meal. It's, and so that's very, very interesting that this snacking has taken on a life of its own. In fact, another statistic I read, which was really unbelievable, that the food industry is in love with you all snacking. Yeah. They love that you snack to the tune of they're making like over $600 billion a year on creating snacks. So they're like, yay, let's keep snacking. So why do you think, we're snacking and more and eating less, 3 meals a day?
I think it boils down to having food accessible all the time. Mm-hmm. And therefore, when you see people eating at a meeting, even if it's a school meeting, right? If you have clubs and things, there's typically food there. There's vending machines around every corner. And because you see people snacking all the time, it's become this social norm where you think, oh, like I should have a snack too. Or, I'm going from one class to another, or I might as well grab a snack. I might as well stop at the coffee shop. So it's just become such a normal part of life that, may or may not be healthy, right? Jury's definitely still out on that. It seems like, originally it was thought that more meals per day helped people's metabolism and helped keep their weight down, but more research is showing that that's actually not true.
Right. So this grazing thing, I remember those studies from way back. They said, small meals a day are better than either 3 large, but you're saying that the studies don't support that any longer.
Right. It's really becoming more mixed now where yes, some studies do say that, but then other studies say that the people that had, 1 meal per day, the opposite extreme, their metabolism is actually not slower than the people who graze all the time. So it really is mixed. And I think the biggest takeaway is to do what works for you, but have some trial and error in figuring out what actually works for you and not just snacking all the time because your friends are snacking all the time, that type of thing.
Dr. Rachel, that's interesting because we did a whole thing on intermittent fasting and this whole, where some people are only having 1 or 2 meals a day and then fasting the majority of the day for weight management. So that's interesting that now this research is coming out. So, having not having 3 square meals a day and maybe more small meals or whatever. It's any combination, as you said, that works for you, but there's all different mix-ups and what's going on. So many ways to tackle your eating throughout the day. And I think that eating throughout the day, well, snacking, I think in America is bigger than in Europe. It's so interesting. I've been to Europe. I'm lucky enough to go there, and nobody walks down the street snacking. Like, right? You go. My producer is smiling right now because next semester she's going to Paris. She's leaving me. All right, whatever. I'll talk about off air. I'll talk about that. I'll start crying. But anyway, you never in Europe see people walking and eating. They sit down and have a meal, or sit down and have a snack or whatever. But Americans, we snack. We can snack standing up, walking down the street. It's like we just eat all the time, like you said, in classrooms or And I think that it's acceptable here, which maybe it feeds into why it's people are snacking more because everybody's just doing it. And as you said, it's so accessible. My concern is, and you tell me this, how do you keep a snack portions in check? Because if your snack portions start to get big where you're no longer snacking, now we're mealing. So what do you recommend how to keep a snack a snack?
Yeah, so a few things. I would say the first thing is to have kind of a meal structure for your entire day. So have if you get hungry for breakfast, not everyone does, but if you get hungry for breakfast, have a substantial breakfast. And then have 3 to 4 hours in between your next meal. And this should always happen in between your meals so that you give your body time to get hungry again. Because a lot of times we don't even know what hunger feels like, right? We're afraid of being hungry. We don't even know what our body signals are that we are hungry. But being hungry is such a normal, natural, healthy part of every day. I don't want to get starving, but eating a substantial meal, becoming full, and then letting your body get hungry again is very normal and is very healthy. So anyway, back to that. So if we had our breakfast and then waited a few hours and then had lunch, people typically don't need a snack in between breakfast and lunch unless you have a really longer than kind of 3-hour period. And then if you have a good substantial lunch with carbohydrates, protein, and fat, then you can wait another 3 to 4 hours, maybe have an afternoon snack. I find that's the most common time that a snack is needed in the afternoon, maybe 3 to 4 p.m. And then again, waiting another 3 to 4 hours, having that snack be a substantial snack, right? Not just an apple, not something that's going to spike your blood sugar and then drop it. And then having dinner, and dinner again being a substantial meal.
Right. It's so funny what you said. It's so interesting. You're saying that if you have a good breakfast, then you should wait until you're hungry before you have lunch. And hunger. What has that got to do with eating? You're like, hello,
right.
Hello. That's why you're eating. But we're on a clock. It's 12 o'clock or it's 1 o'clock. It's time to eat lunch or whatever. But if you're not hungry, like, why are you eating lunch? So that's very, very. I forgot about that. Like eat when you're hungry. Like how duh. Yet you're right. We don't. We eat as part of our day as we map it out. I love what you said about lunch having carbohydrates, some protein, and some fat, because Dr. Rachel, I don't think people eat an appropriate lunch or breakfast, and that's why they get hungry. Within the 2 hours rather than going 3 and 4. So for your lunch, when you say you have an adequate lunch, what should your lunch look like?
So I have kind of this very easy formula that I stick to, that a lot of my followers stick to, and this is what it is. So at least 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables, and about 1 cup is about the size of your fist. Okay. So that's an easy thing to kind of think about, just 2 fists full of vegetables. So you really get that volume, you get fiber, you get good carbohydrates from that. And then a regular size of protein, about 4 to 5 ounces. So that could be like a chicken breast or a can of tuna or 2 to 3 hard-boiled eggs. And then you want some fats in there as well. The protein and fat, they really contribute to satiety, so it's really feeling full. So about 100 to 200 calories of fat. So whether that's, half an avocado, 2 string cheeses, that type of thing.
And then what about some like grains, whole grains or?
Yeah, I find that more depends on the person. If the person needs additional carbohydrates, absolutely include them. Of course, we, as much as possible, want to stick to whole grains because they have more fiber, they have more nutrients, they're more satisfying. But, your taste preferences also are important, right? So, for example, if you love regular French fries and you really don't like sweet potato fries, it's a-okay with me if you want to choose those regular fries,
right?
Because you should be happy and enjoying your meals, right. During the day.
And it's still a potato. A potato's a potato. So if either,
That's right.
I mean, hello. It's just having a potato. My goodness gracious, enjoy it. What the statistics are telling us that people are snacking as the day goes on. And they're, like what you had said, okay, an afternoon snack and then dinner. But what's happening, which is really problematic, is that people are, finishing their dinner and then snacking all the way up to, Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm not really sure that's a good thing. Do you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because late at night, we only have a certain amount of self-control and willpower during the day. We kind of start out in the morning with a certain amount, and it just decreases throughout the day. The research shows that. Mm-hmm. And so at nighttime, we're typically not eating broccoli. We're not, microwaving some frozen broccoli. We're eating ice cream. We're eating chips, those types of things. So nighttime is especially a difficult time. So a good thing to do is to kind of break the habit. If your nighttime snacking is maybe not the healthiest, break the habit. So if you, go to dinner and then it's your habit to go sit on the couch and go to the pantry and get some potato chips, change your routine, right? Maybe you get ready for bed, you brush your teeth, and then you go watch some TV type of thing. So if you kind of break that habit, it can just make you more mindful.
Right. Because really, when you think about it, like you said, you're tired and you may think that you're hungry, but you're really tired. And Dr. Rachel, isn't that one of the reasons why people snack? Because they're tired and they think, I'm going to have a snack and I'm going to get all this energy?
Absolutely. Yep. When we're tired, our bodies can't tell the difference between hunger in order to stay awake and actual hunger. So you just naturally end up overeating, but it's not due to actual hunger. It's due to this faux type of hunger.
Right. So in other words, at night, if you're feeling like, gee, I can't decipher if I'm hungry or I'm really tired, I think the answer should be go to bed.
Absolutely. I know people say it to me all the time. I want to eat so I have more energy, but they're getting, 5 hours of sleep. And the easiest answer is just to get more sleep.
Right. And we know, you and I both know that, when you don't get adequate sleep, it increases that hunger hormone and you're hungry all the way through the day. I mean, if most people get 8 hours sleep, I think I need 10 and a half because, whatever.
Yep.
And so if I don't get like the 10 and a half, you should see me. I'm ready to eat anything that's not moving all day long. So I got to get my sleep in and I got to get in there early. So the snacking late at night is really a bad habit to get into because oftentimes you're not hungry, but you're just bored. You talked about a healthy lunch, and I want to get to your wisdom here of what are some top 10 healthy snacks that maybe dorm friendly or that young adults can do on the go. And I have to tell you, I got the statistics, and the number one snack in North America is, and I know you probably know this already, is chips. Hello.
Yeah.
And number two is chocolate, and number three is cheese. And I thought, well, gee. Cheese, I didn't know that. Cheese is number three. So you tell me, I don't think you should be, snacking on a heck of a lot of cheese or a heck of a lot of chocolate. But the cheese, it sounds like a pretty good snack as long as we don't eat a whole, cow.
Are you having trouble sleeping, focusing, or relaxing? If the answer is yes, then the TM Softs White Noise Sleep Sounds podcast has got you covered. This hour-long podcast is made to help you get rid of distractions, reduce stress, relax, and most importantly, get better sleep. You can listen to sounds of nature, white noise, relaxing music, and much, much more. You can check out the TM Softs White Noise Sleep Sounds podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
So tell me, what is the formula for a good snack, a healthy snack, and what are some of your top favorite snacks?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the only really kind of rule I would have with this is try to not, if you're But again, if you're truly hungry, right? If you're really hungry, I would not eat a carbohydrate by itself as a snack. So, for example, like crackers by themselves or an apple by itself. Yes, those are healthy foods, but because they're pretty much only made of carbohydrates, they're going to spike your blood sugar, and then it's going to plummet, and you're going to be hungry again soon after. But if you eat something with a protein and or a fat, that's going to stabilize your blood sugar, and you're going to be full for hours. So, for example, if we were having the crackers, let's pair that with the cheese, right? Now you want to have something like a single serving, not a whole block of cheese, right? So maybe 1 or 2 string cheeses type of thing. You could also do one of those single serving packs of guacamole. I love those. Because they don't go brown, they don't go bad. You don't open this whole container of guacamole and it's gone after a day. It just looks not appetizing. So those single serving packs, those are really good. If you want to make your own single serving packs to look out for the environment, of course that is better.
Right.
Some other good snacks. I love hard boiled eggs, yogurt, nuts. Nut butter packets. Again, you can make your own if you prefer. I think that jerky is a fantastic snack. What's really cool now, a lot of companies make these baked cheese crackers or these like Parm crisps, and they're only made of cheese. So that's a good kind of lower carb snack that's going to stabilize your blood sugar. And those are usually sold in single serving packages. So that's a good one as well.
Most Americans, if you're looking at the food groups that they're not getting enough with, it's fruits and vegetables and dairy. So, the cheese is a good snack. And I love string cheese because it's individually portioned out. But, interesting what you said about the crackers, because you're right. If you're just eating the crackers, you could eat a half a box of crackers and, not even be aware of it. So do you recommend like putting a snack like on a plate or something, or, portioning it out? What do you typically do so you don't eat all the crackers?
So I would say the best thing to do is just to try to never eat straight out of the box. Yeah. So if you, especially, college students were on the go, right? So if you can ahead of time in the morning pack a single serving pack of crackers, and you can really count them out. It's usually maybe like 12 to 15 crackers, so you can do that. That's pretty easy to do, and that's the better way to snack on something like that.
You can take that with the string cheese, and this way, and if you dole it out yourself, it's much cheaper than getting those 100-calorie pack or those pre-packings. So it's easier for you to do that.
Absolutely.
And cheaper. So you save some money there. How can they get more veggies in as a snack? Because they're not getting enough. So what's some good veggie combo snack?
Yeah, absolutely. So really pairing with that, like those single serving packs of guacamole, and also you can get single serving packs of nut butters or even nuts. And that's a really good pairing of protein and fat to keep you full. Because yes, vegetables are so healthy, but eating, some carrots by themselves is typically not going to keep you full for very long.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Have you ever said you got stuffed on carrots? I mean, hello.
Right.
But what do you think about carrots and hummus?
Yeah, I think that can be a great snack. Sometimes hummuses are pretty low fat. And so therefore, because they don't have a lot of protein either, that they're both, the carrots and the hummus are both pretty carbohydrate based. So, I personally would stick with like the guacamole or the nut butter.
Right. Okay, good. So what are some things that I always have nuts with me? I always have like a package of nuts or peanuts or almonds. What are some things that you don't need a refrigerator for and can go in a backpack or a briefcase?
So nut butter packets, jerky, those baked cheese bites, and something I've recently found are pork rinds, which are actually great. I was sitting with my fiance the other day, and he was like, why can't I eat like a whole bag of pork rinds that I can eat a whole bag of chips? It's because the pork rinds, they have that protein. It keeps you full. So it's a natural satiety measure. So that's a great one as well.
The jerky, you said, because you said the pork rinds, you said the jerky before. I've actually stumbled upon that, and I like this jerky. I think that it is. I feel more satisfied with it, and I feel like I'm having more of a substance snack. So I'll do some jerky with some vegetables or some jerky with a piece of fruit, and I feel like I get that combo in. And the jerky, like you said, is more shelf stable, so you don't have to worry about going into a refrigerator. What about like yogurt, like Greek yogurt? What do you about
Yeah,
that for a
that's
snack?
absolutely fantastic snack. My kind of rule of thumb with yogurts is just to choose one with less than 15 grams of sugar, just because a lot of yogurts do have a lot of that added sugar, and if possible, we want to keep that down. But absolutely, because that has protein and fat, and it's a complete source of protein because it's dairy, so that's a great snack as well.
Right. And you could have breakfast as a snack. So, like you could take that Greek yogurt and put some whole grain cereal on it. And, if you're skipping breakfast in the morning, you can have it as an afternoon snack and have cereal and a yogurt for a snack.
Absolutely. Yep. And another good thing to add to yogurt instead of like granola or cereal is you can actually add like a nut and seed blend as kind of a granola substitute. And again, that will be a lower carbohydrate, so more protein and fat will keep you more full. And both yogurt and nuts and seeds, they already have carbohydrates in them, right? No food is a complete source of any one macronutrient. Well, there are a few, but very few, right?
Right.
So I think people worry that they're not going to get enough carbohydrates, but carbohydrates are already a part of so many of our foods. They're already included in dairy, in avocado, in nuts and seeds. So, you don't really have to worry about not getting enough of them.
I mean, I know nuts. What give me some ideas of seeds that you like or the listeners could use. What kind of seeds?
Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Those are kind of the two most popular ones. Pepita seeds, actually, those are pretty popular. Those are a little more expensive, but those are good as well.
Yeah. And that's a really crunchy, you're chewing. This way, you're slowing down a little bit because you got to crunch and chew them with the yogurt. So that does, I'm starting to get hungry, but we'll I'm thinking about this all of that. So these are great. So it sounds like you want to have some fat, some healthy fats, and that's the nuts and the avocado, and you want to have some protein, and you want to maybe have some carbohydrates like fruits and vegetables, and if you have grains, have whole grains. So you want like a combo. What you don't want to do is you don't want to do a solo snack. An apple's not going to cut it. Carrot is not going to cut it. And we got to combine and put things together. It sounds like to have a healthy snack, and it sounds like you don't want to do it late at night.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite go-to snack that you like?
I actually really love both jerky or pork rinds dipped in guacamole. It is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your go-to.
Yeah, and that's a more fancy snack, but my go-to is typically peanut butter. I'll just take a scoop of it, and that'll keep me full.
Okay, now we're talking, girlfriend. Peanut butter on sliced apples. Hello.
Okay.
That's got my name on it. Now that's a portable snack that doesn't have to be refrigerated, but that is just the best. I mean, that's like bring me back to my childhood. So peanut butter and apples are, like you said, peanut butter on anything is fabulous. All righty, so we're snacking more than we should be snacking. I should say that we were snacking years and years ago, but it's a new trend. People maybe not eating 3 meals a day, and snacking could now take on its own little definition. But I think that your take-home message here, it sounds like just make the snacking a healthy snack, and just don't snack solo. Put the combinations together to hold you over until the next meal. And most importantly, don't eat unless you're hungry. I got to remember that. Don't eat unless you're hungry.
That's right.
That's right. All right, Dr. Rachel, the College Nutritionist, we are going to put up some wonderful reading about snacks on the Spot On's Facebook page. We're also going to link you to her Instagram page, the College Nutritionist, and you're going to see a picture of her and all her wonderful tips that she has and she gives out for people who are young and want to be healthy. So, Dr. Rachel Paul, thank you so much for being on Spot On.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Spot On. Please subscribe to Spot On your favorite podcast app for new episodes every week. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Joan Salge Blake. And also like our Spot On Facebook page and suggest topics for future episodes. And oh, by the way, could you ask 5 of your friends or family members to download Spot On and subscribe to it? Do I ask a lot from you?